Welcome back, fellow armchair generals, to WarPlan. Yes, my German playthrough, Axis playthrough, WarPlan. Now, stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to try an experiment in WarPlan to see if and how well it works. But we're going to do that at the end of the video because it may not be what we do for the game going on, but I do want to try something, so we're going to do it at the end. Now, well, let's start with Italian operations here. Let's see if we can just crush this. Well, that basically worked. Now, you go up to there. I think since you're in better shape, let's bring you down here. You're not going to attack. We're going to let them sort of die in the desert. Okay, it's double secret super rain there. Let's head over towards Malta. We will want air operations there in the Italian Air Force. The Regia Aeronautica, if I'm pronouncing that reasonably correctly. Okay. So let's move this. I want to keep it sort of kind of supplied. Right. We're going to try an air campaign. We have the Fallschirmjägers here. Let's send in a supply of the trucks to try to get the percent. Oh, what is our current? Okay, so we're at 9 supply, so that should be plenty of supply. Just needs the supplies and whatnot to get up to 100% for an air operation, and then I'll want to see about that. Going there. No, that is not the experiment. Not the main one that I want to try at the end. Okay, well. Trying to picture my operations here. Okay, that's a weak core. Yeah, I know this is exciting TV. Let's move you up here. So I want to push down this way. And I want to push up this way to try to get as much of a pocket as I can. That's what I want to do. It doesn't mean that's what I'm going to be able to do, but that's a there we go, desire. Oh, you just showed up. Okay, or was moved there. I want to push north to Riga as fast as possible. I mean, sure, Leningrad is sort of the eventual goal, but not really where I'm aiming my initial operations. Here, let's move you up to there. If we can come in here and push in this way here, to try to move along this railway, a supply push down here. If we can push up from here, try to create a pocket in here is what I'd like to do. Worried a bit about supply through these mountains. Ruthia? Something like that. Okay, I'm still a little... how much garrison do we want to leave? We have... concerns. So we have the Romanian... yeah, let's move this guy. Let's put him on railways and get him over to here. I think if we get him up and around here, it would be best for supply. And helping control most of those divisions. So I'm not sure how strong this line of defense is, and I have horrid memories of trying to pierce this in strategic command. Now this game is not based on strategic command, though I do know that Alvaro did work on some of the versions of that game. Just the rivers, you know, defensive, and that just don't know how strong those divisions are. They could be divisions in this game, or they could be corps. Corps seems a bit much with everything around here. If we look at such, okay. Now, I guess we go with some. Just with the rain, I didn't know if it was like using up the air fuel. Okay, one more set of attempts. Okay, we're gonna let the yeah, we're gonna let these guys try to repair themselves instead of operate. Okay. Now we did get Finland in the axis, so let's move you up to the border, or as close as we can get here. You can see the border here has sort of changed. It's I'm not quite sure which hex is through here. I don't know if we just... I think those two are Russian. So obviously once the war starts, we should at least move as far as we can practically do so up the railways. I just don't see a downside. And yes, we want to threaten this rail connection up here to Murmansk. It might cut off that path. Okay, trade convoys again aren't showing up for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, showed up last time I was playing. Which ones are active at the moment? Okay, and we're gonna wait until these guys starve down a bit more, because I think we're now using this convoy now that it's March again, so it's not hurting us as much. Now, mentioning convoys, okay, this is just too big. We don't have the shipping to do that, so let's try to, because I was trying to push them up. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can get away with 5. Create trade. Just trying to rush them getting organized up, but I just don't have the convoys, because I would like this to be a full proper 10 strength division and this to be a proper 10 strength division here. mostly just to help hold. I'm not planning on using either the Iraqi or the Iranian army against the Soviets, other than holding territory in here. Okay, I think, well, I wanna produce, we don't have enough convoys for Germany, but we have 4 merchant marine groups, so 40 of those coming. And for Italy, we have 1. So back over here, Italy, stockpile. We're going to build another one of those because we're losing them in the Mediterranean, and we don't want to be in the situation of not having enough. So for Germany, though, I want to, not that we have enough, but I think we have a fair amount being built now. I want another core in production, so let's do that. That can hopefully get here. Well, let's see the time.
The number one thing we can do is...
Sorry about that. Yeah, that the latest one, May 27th will come, so that way we'll get another core into operation. If not right at the start, very close to it for going after Barbarossa, which I am still looking to do. I'm worried about it. I want at least 1 armored core for here. I want an armored and a mech for here. I want an armored for here. So I obviously don't have those, and I just don't have enough. So I just don't know, and these 3 core would sort of more or less do, along with this one coming in April, would do for what I want to do. But I just, hopefully we can supply and run one up here and see how this if this just pummels them better. If any of these we need to, okay, that's not good, but okay, that's all right. So, let's look at our Navy, our subs, particularly out here. Okay, you're sitting here, you're sitting there, because I think you just came there last turn, and you're out there. Okay, so we're gonna leave those right where they are this turn. Just make sure it's the airfield, which I don't want to deploy just at the moment. Okay. In turn, are you sure? Yes. Okay, Italian anti-tank batsman to 3, landing ships for Germany. Okay, North Atlantic, we sunk 3 convoys. Probably Germany is lacking merchant marine for convoy. Sweden ships will be used for the remaining resources. Sweden, Germany, yes. Turkey, yes, that's part of the problem. Lacking, yeah, we don't. Iraq needs 46 merchant marines to fully transport resources. Mediterranean, Italy lost 1 convoy. Finland, low oil stockpile, so we've got to make sure we send up oil to Finland. Okay, this is, yes. I'm not sure how much it's taking to go around, shipping around the Arabian Peninsula here. If I'm thinking right now that I don't plan on invading Syria and Iraq, but we might still need to do that. Okay, 7-1. Let's see if we can just, well, let's save this. Mostly for misclicks, but also possibly misadventures. Let's hopefully we can just Eliminate that. Yeah, they surrender. Okay. You come to this port here. Yeah, you there. Yeah, you're not ready to go down the desert. Okay, well. Let's see what it would be if we 2-to-1. Okay, that is not very good odds. And it's acceptable odds, but it's not very good odds. Okay, so we're going to use some oil to one air down, unfortunately. Another air, damn. Okay, well, still 2-to-1. I'm going to just sort of continue to somewhat ignore that. Let them starve out. I don't want to push there, but here hopefully we've starved them enough. 3-to-1. Oh, we lost a fair amount, so we're going to, let's just see what would be another 3-to-1. Okay, that was stupid. That's a misadventure, but I'm not going to change it. That's just stupid. I pushed there when they're going to starve. Ah, good weather in the Mediterranean. You're running low on supplies. Fuel, presumably. Damage too. Nice. Oh, sunk. Very good. Now that we have good weather, I'm not even absolutely certain. See, okay, damage once there, something there. Good. Ooh, good weather. And they're gone. We have eliminated the current, not maybe, you know, all possible, but the current submarine threat in the Mediterranean, which is very nice, actually. Ah, that feels good. That feels good. Let's move you over here. How are we doing for organization? 93%. So we're going to do another supply truck to get that to 99. Very good. Now here, okay. If we were to click on this, would it show me active trade convoys? No. I'm not even sure. Let's get you down to here. I want you to here, just to be in a different area. Trying to sink all of their merchant marine is useful. And another subgroup is ready. We can't deploy it out here in Brest, or? Okay. In my opinion, a flaw in the game. Now I don't, again, I'm still playing on an older version of the game. 1.03 or something like that. I believe they're out at 1.5. I just don't want to restart over again. So things may have changed. I just want to give Alvaro that sort of credit. But the Germans built large, reasonably large submarine assembly dockyards, I guess it would be, including ones that were entirely concreted over to stop from bombing out here. So they were producing subs out here. I don't know the rate of sub production out here versus what was going on back in German dockyards, because I'm sure they were still producing some there too. And you have to realize, you know, a lot of the production, you know, thing like a big diesel engine that goes in a submarine, a okay, that's produced back in Germany, and it may not be anywhere near the coast where it's produced. I just don't know. And that can be, you know, on rails shipped. That's why I'm specifying rails shipped out here. And big propellers that, you know, are made back in Germany can be shipped out here. And you can even do a lot of shaping of hull plates and other sort of parts, and just shipping all the parts out here and assembling them here, where the main manufacturing centers of all of those parts are still back here in Germany. So that, and no, we're not going to, okay, see, that's where we can deploy it to. And I just don't know where I want this, the airfield. So that's why I'm not deploying it. I wish there was a better way to keep from having this always sort of ready deployed at check. And if you can sort of see that these are places that you can't, I think, normally shift air to. We can sort of look here, and then let's click off, because I haven't actually done, we can see it about here. And well, yeah, those are sort of the places, at least some of them, that we couldn't. Oh, well, that's the yeah, it doesn't matter that it's the Italians. You can see here, yeah, some of the places maybe you could have moved those to, but definitely some you can't. That will then allow air units. I don't know if it'll do cross. I don't know if it's entirely in your faction or whether it is just the particular nations, like just Germans. That would be sort of limiting, but I don't know. So that is something to keep in mind. And I have no idea whether I'm going to think I need an airbase up, you know, somewhere remote like that, or my real sort of concerns is getting some airbase somewhere, you know, out here or something that it's thinking that, yeah, no, not a good place for an airbase. Don't know if I'm going to go, and I may be mistaken, time will tell, whether the Allies would have any ability to invade this far around, and this test will sort of maybe tell me something that we're going to do later on. Alright, now you come to the port. That's where we're going to be more ready to advance. Supply will probably get pretty tight on these roads, but maybe enough to keep the division alive. And I think if nothing else, if it's just sitting out here, it'll make the Russians divert some forces up to here. So that's even a dirt road there, so just looking for cutting off. Okay. See, we can see here, just as an interest, the siege of Stalingrad. If you haven't watched the World at War series narrated by Laurence Olivier, you should. It is still a great series of documentaries covering World War II. It was a foundation as a child for me learning about World War II overall, and although research and history has gone beyond it, I don't know that there's any fundamental problems with the series. I'm pretty sure. I really think, maybe I should say, that they had yet to declassify the breaking of the Ultra Code when that series was made. So that might change what people were saying about how World War II was fought from the Allies' perspective. I know I've read Montgomery of Alamaine's, Bernard Montgomery, General Montgomery's book, that was written again prior to that he wrote it. His book he wrote was written prior to the declassification, so he couldn't, you know, talk about Ultra or the Enigma codes being broken, however you want to say that, the Bletchley Park operation. So, you know, his thinking, his knowledge, talking particularly North Africa, is somewhat, you know, flawed, because he can't have said, oh, we were reading, you know, the messages going to Rommel or Rommel's replies or whatnot. And so he can't just say that in the book. So that is a bit of a difference. I'm going to move you down, I think, to here. Just as occupations and troops in Greece. So yeah, but I highly recommend this series. Yes, a YouTuber telling you to go watch something else that may even be on YouTube. I don't know. Oh, well, can we move you? Oh, yes, we can. Okay, even though we just deployed you. Let's come up to here. As we go around, let's come around to here. There we go. Get you out to sea. To better deal with the convoys and messing with them. Partisans. Yeah, that just means, yeah, it's not the best. Okay, and that's not a real problematical at all. Okay. Feel really good about taking out the subs. Some stupid moves, but some good moves. Okay, yes. Now back to build production. Okay, big stockpile. Just want to check here again. Merchant Marines coming. None of these other guys have anything coming. Right. Okay. We can't even build that, of course. Didn't think we could. Italy, 74. We're doing upkeep. Pretty good upkeep there. Maxing that out, hopefully getting those air units, which we're going to maybe need to shift some. Mechanized Corps 390. It's going to be late coming, but damn, that'd be nice. Okay, we'll do that. Mechanized Corps produced. And yeah, still July 30th for more merchant vessels. Okay, well, let's look at the convoys. Germany's 100% are in use. 5% are, or 5, not 5%, 5 in use for Italy right now. Okay, well, let's come up here. We have to make some tough choices. Excuse me. We're going to stop this, cancel this trade. As we were warned here with Finland, they have stockpile of 1 oil, their upkeep of 2 oil. Not sure, because I haven't done any air operations, which is the only thing I think they have that uses it. But we want to send some oil to them. Germany's current oil is coming in 125. I guess it's some coming in from Iraq as well as everywhere else. So let's go Germany to Finland, and right now let's just send them 4. Hopefully we have something in the way of convoys to deal with that, to get them some fuel. Okay, Germany. Stockpile 31, no, that's too low. Okay, to do anymore. Let's No, not a lot of action here. Let's end this turn. Don't know why I picked it to look at, but oh well. Okay, Greenland allows USA and UK to base aircraft within its borders. Germany breakthrough advancement to 4, and for that's breakthrough units, and interceptors advancement to 5. Close support advancement to 2. For Italy, good that Italy is still doing okay. No North Atlantic. Fleets low supplies. We can check into that and try to get them back. Merchant Marine, yep. Okay, low fuel oil. Okay, let's look at that for. Okay, we did get them some more oil. They're using some on upkeep and they're stockpiling some. Okay, good. Basically stockpiling too. I would send them more. I'm more worried about numbers of stockpiles than anything else. Let's come up to here with you. You can go straight into Brest. You can head. Oh, well, we'll head you all the way back down to here. You can head out to here. Might as well get you raiding on the way to coming down here to come out to raid. Yeah, they're down to 4. That should be an easy crush. This should, I say should, not say it will, but should be a easy crush. Now that is, there we go. There we go. Okay. We're gonna get these shipped out. I need these 2 cores down into here or somewhere like that, and soon. That whole misadventure up there has really cost us a lot. Yeah, they can make sure we take that. Don't know about that territory up there, if that, what that stays as. Not that that's much of a worry, but we need the supplies coming out through Narvik, and he will be the one holding Narvik open for us, that one division there. All right, April. Still a bit early for operations there. Okay, 100%. Not that we're going to do it, but I want to save again. Save over that. Not, oh, I don't know. Is it the rain that's keeping us from having the option to do a parachute jump? That's probably it. Okay. Yeah, rain might be enough that would stop that. But what we will do here is go back to unit attack. Starting our bombing of Malta. Land loss 1. They now went to naval operations. Oh, land loss of 1. Who knows, maybe we'll just be able to ship in. At least we'll be in theater. Hopefully the next turn. Oh, it's getting late. I gotta get these guys up. Because that's least my theory, and I've not done a Barbarossa in this, and I know some of you guys have played deeper into this game just because you're not under my sort of constraint. Because I really, just to let you all know, I know only a few of you are still watching this deep into the video, but I don't want to just play, 20 episodes and then slowly release them. I do want your input on the episodes, and then, which, like, oh, do this, or oh, you forgot to do that, or whatever, and, try this. So I want your input. Now, obviously, it's delayed for the next episode or two, because sometimes I will do like 2 in a row, just because I want to play. But I very much try to keep it from being, playing huge amounts of of numbers of games in advance. So, and I also haven't wanted to, shall we say, spoil the surprise for myself in playing through, knowing everything. So that's sort of why I haven't just done a lot of. We probably don't need this, but then we have seen that sometimes. Okay, land -1, so they're getting weaker. -1. There we go. Okay. Now 10 to 1, and they're done. Very good. Okay, well, you guys keep moving out to the desert. You guys keep moving that way. They'll reduce their efficiency. German Mountain Corps, yeah, we want you to go east. I think we want to bring another Italian unit in here to help hold this from partisans, or don't know. Or do we have uprisings here, partisans? I know you do. There. Okay. Let's undo that. Undo. Where's my undo button? There. Okay. We're gonna put you on railways just because getting past all this stuff. We might as well use the Yugoslavian trains. That looks reasonably well placed. Okay, that gets 2, or all 3 of them. Okay, so that's being headquarters enough for all 3 of them at the moment. That will help them out. Okay, well. Not a huge stockpile, a little better stockpile. I want to look at Iraq. Nothing. Fuel. Lots and lots of fuel. Okay. Sit down there to try to hold that. Again, I'm not sure whether there's any provision like coming from here or anywhere else to invade in this game. Now, let's save this again. Because here is where we're going to see about our experiment. And this is near the end of the episode, not yet, but so don't click away or you'll miss this. Now what I want to see is if we can put these embark on operations. Okay. Come down to here. And invasion mode. Not enough landing craft. Huh? I thought I had 10. Thought I had 10. Italy landing ships 10. Huh? I thought it was landing ships. Landing ships, smaller naval units that can carry units from transport to shore. Each point allows 1 health to invade a hex. Landing craft are consumed upon use. Landing craft are bought in quantities of 10. Okay, well, maybe that's just because we can't do this. I don't know. Because the unit's health, if you remember, was at 4. Like other Italian infantry, or 5 or whatever. So that, which just may mean we can't do an invasion. So let's come to, okay, first what we're going to do is select, undo. Okay, let's come to here. This is the experimental part. Okay, let's see. Let's come out to here. And then can we do, not enough landing craft. Okay, let's undo this. Let's come to here. Not enough landing craft unit to disembark this unit. Wait, it shows we have 10. Well, let's undo this. Should we embark this turn? Landing ships 10, you see that. Okay, Germany, landing ships 60. Okay, well, let's, okay, yes, let's quit. Yes, we're just going to this menu, load. This is why we load, we do things. Let's start here. I wanted to do the, okay. Let's try these guys here. Let's put them embarked. Now they're at 12. These are the Mountain Corps. Let's come down here. Oh, landing. Okay, so that means, so that is, they're not letting us have that. Let's, okay, so that, okay, so that did there, that worked right. And looks like we still have 60 landing ships. Okay, well, I'm thinking with this is we cannot invade South Africa, which is actually, I think on the whole, a good thing. And that was the experiment that I wanted to do, is just to see, could we take South Africa? Yes, I believe historically it would be quite possible if the Italians were to control the Red Sea, you know, win here in Egypt, hold out in Ethiopia long enough, and they had a fair amount of supplies. They weren't quite yet collapsing from lack of supplies and such, and they were doing some decent defensive battles. Not great, but doing some decent stuff. Now, they were often facing third string British units too, so not that they were all bad. I mean, I don't want to say it because I don't remember specifically, but there were some good British units down there as well. But some of the stuff was sort of colonial garrison, Royal African Rifles that I don't know how well they were trained and or equipped that were facing them. So yeah, some of those units, and not that they were bad units, it just they weren't the premier British units out there. So and for a while, the Italians had something of a, I'm trying to come over here, a secret airbase. Thank you, truck. Secret airbase out here somewhere that for a refueling stop, that they could fly in and out people and small amounts of critical supplies, shall we say, to Ethiopia. So they kept the air bridge open, and they just fly it at night. The British didn't have radar in the area, to my knowledge, at all, and because the British obviously had chain home radar at home and radar on some ships and that type of thing, and we're working on night interceptors because again this is around 1940-41 kind of thing, time period. So Britain had radar, but there was just nothing in sort of Sudan, because that's where they were flying over, that had radar. They very well may have had, like I say, some ships with radar or even ground installations here, I don't know, in the sort of Alexandria, Cairo area for operations, but nothing out here. So they could fly at night without any real chance of interception along the way, and just fly over Sudan, and it's a long ways. And so they were able to keep that going, and so they would fly in, a few critical personnel, some critical supplies, fly out some wounded that they, were one stable enough to fly out, but also injured enough that weren't going to continue to being soldiers in the field. So they were just getting them out, and sort of as a propaganda thing, showing air connection going. So they were sort of bold about that they were flying, not that necessarily they had the refueling stop, but that they were flying in and out of Ethiopia until near the end. So, but that is always the case. Eventually they're going to run out of particularly ammo and probably fuel down there, that they they don't have any setup ammo production. So and even if they're recruiting locally, and there were ethnic groups that were including those, because Haile Selassie's Ethiopia was something of an empire. It wasn't a unified cultural identity, and particularly Muslim tribes, we'll call them, Muslim ethnic groups down there in his territory, since he was a Christian and promoting Christians, his version of Christianity. I forget, the Ethiopian Christians, so we'll call them that. They're a very old group of Christians down there. And so some of these groups were rather displeased with Haile Selassie, and were very, very willing to support the Italians. And the Italians gave out lots of ammo and or guns and ammo to these groups. So, and they were enthusiastic, maybe not good fighters, but enthusiastic fighters. I don't know how many were recruited into sort of proper colonial units, as opposed to just locals given guns and told to fight whoever they were told to fight. Obviously those troops wouldn't be very good, but you could recruit up a fair amount of locals to sort of keep a garrison going for a while. And obviously I think they were producing enough food down there locally just to feed the Italian garrison as well as the civil population. But it's ammo and that type of thing that makes it a collapse. So with this game and the way it's moved, I think you could relieve Ethiopia, because Eritrea was sort of the main garrison point on the Red Sea for the Italians. It had the most developed harbor. Mogadishu was a very sort of secondary harbor at best. And I mean, there were fairly large, moderate sized naval gun emplacements on shore batteries around Aswa, something like that, the main port that Eritrea at the time, that the British had captured moderately early, and the Italians could show up and I think do some decent naval landings, again outside of the range of the naval guns or whatever. Naval guns are there just to sort of keep enemy shipping from coming too near and shelling the port, or shelling ships, whether merchant vessels or combat vessels, because obviously you're the Italians and you're not the British, so unless you have for some reason have your big battleships down in the Red Sea, which, yeah, you might if you're, if you're pushing down in here after taking the Suez. But otherwise, you probably just have some cruisers or destroyers. The British have battleships and whatnot, so you want to have a few big guns to point out to the sea to just sort of try to convince the British not to come too near to shell the stuff in your ports. But yeah, so you could easily do landings around it and push in, and I don't know how prepared the British were to stop it. If I were the British, I would be evacuating the area once all of this falls, and if you don't have naval supremacy in the Red Sea, so it's one thing if, hey, yeah, the panzers have rolled over the ports up here, and you have to rebase your ships somewhere else. But I'll tell you, panzers ain't coming south out of here in any great strength. Yes, we can look at Kitchener's and others march up, up the Nile with riverboat support and getting past the cataphracts with trains and whatnot, and supply an army marching up into Khartoum. You want to go south out of Khartoum? Ooh, that is trouble indeed. And I know you can do some of that stuff in like Hearts of Iron 4, but it is really, really trouble. And sure, you can trickle a few panzers, either continuing to barge them up rivers and whatever and fuel, but it's huge in distance and space, and just the lack of infrastructure. It's just, you're going to be bringing just a few tanks to support whatever operations you're doing. And I would have, if I was Italy and or Germany, bring a few tanks and push, but that is no great relief force. And so local Sudanese, well-equipped Sudanese type, it's Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, so it's British and Egyptians running Sudan, basically. It's a joint colonial venture there, as well as, the various elements of the British Empire, and by the times collapsing, you would see some Americans show up if they're in the war. So, yeah, I don't really think you could push them out via land. You need to take the Red Sea. Now, once you take the Red Sea, then it's fine, because you use sea transport to get supplies, your panzers, whatnot. But if Britain can hold the sea, and which means you almost have to do it with just sea units because it's so big. Britain can probably hold air bases enough, isolated air bases, and keep the Italians from taking air bases and moving down. And since Germany and Italy's aircraft carriers are stalled in sort of early production phases, they're going to have just a few catapult launched aircraft. So yeah, they got to do it with sea power. And so if you have a lot of air power down there, it'd be tough. But it's doable, especially if Britain's collapsing. It'd be doable. And you just got to go. You got to land, take, and you can move down to South Africa, I think. But it would be a difficult and heavy focus, and something that would need, for various reasons, need to delay Barbarossa. But I just wanted to see if it was able, and I come to the conclusion now that with Germany coming out of here, we just can't. And so not enough landing ships. I don't know what the hell that's about, because it seems that there's enough. Seems that I should be able to like invade there, but I can't, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe Italy needs to use ×2? I don't know. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, I love hearing from you, your thoughts on an Italian and or German adventure down to sub-Saharan or more into the Saharan Africa. Love to hear your thoughts on that. So see you next time for more historical gaming.